live again. Bit of sad news. Ozzy Osbourne has passed away. Yeah, that's a shitter. I was just scrolling through Instagram and it popped up saying that Ozzy Osbourne's no longer with us. Which, you know, if you're into metal like I am, quite a big metal fan, listened to it for, God, ever since I can remember. I grew up listening to Green Day, pop punk kind of band. We're live pouring the... You're right, Rife. How you doing, man? We're live pouring the Pine Needle Pale. Just to see whether we've got a carbonation with it and see if it's tasting any better. It tasted a bit odd. It tasted drinkable, but it wasn't like amazingly palatable. So we've got a little bit of a hiss, but not massive hiss. Let's see whether we get some bubbles. It would seem so. Maybe not a massive carbonation, but I probably didn't even pour that so you could see it as well. I'm very sorry. But yeah, we've got some bubbles going on in there. Yeah, there's definitely something peculiar about that. It's not the pine needles either. In fact, this flavour that it's got, it might be off hops, you know. Might be hops that's a little bit past it. Not quite sure. But anywho, yeah, it's drinkable. I like my whiskey. I've got a Penderyn expensive, well, what I class as expensive whiskey. I only save it to celebrate anniversaries and things like that. And this one goes out to Ozzy Osbourne. Like, I'll only have it to chin people, like on the 28th of this month. It's my granddad's anniversary, so that will be opened again, and we will be certainly having a chin to him. So to Ozzy Osbourne. Now, Penderyn makes some mighty fine whiskies. A Welsh distillery, and yeah, it's really nice. It's quite strong. It's 43%, and this is the Icons of Wales, and it's matured in American oak casks. But hey, we're not here for the whiskey, we're here for the homebrew. Nice painting. It's not a painting, it's actually fabric. Yeah, it's actually fabric, mate. Hello, Ultra. Hello, Manuraj. Hope you're doing all right. Sorry, Rife, I missed what you said there. Drinking a Victoria Caveza at the moment and eating some cucumber pickle slices with onion and sport peppers. Sounds good, dude. I've got a bit of an obsession with gherkins, pickled gherkins at the moment. I'm actually going to do a gherkin sour. I saw some guy, there's a guy on YouTube called The Blind Homebrewer, and he's got vision. His vision's impaired. He's not 100% blind, but he's got impaired vision. What's up, Trauma? And yeah, his vision's impaired, but he's still brews. And he did something that was a pickled dill sour. Now, I would have loved to have got the recipe off him, but I think I asked and I never got an answer. And I'm not one to pester people. I'll ask once. If you don't want to give it me, don't give it me. I'm not asked. We're just raising a glass to the late and great Ozzy Osbourne. And yeah, I can't believe he's gone. I mean, he did look, excuse the language, he did look, I nearly swore then, a little bit screwed whilst on stage doing his last farewell tour the other day. I'm not a big Black Sabbath or Aussie music fan. I like the music, I can listen to it, don't get me wrong. But I've always liked the person. Now, I used to watch like MTV Cribs, not MTV Cribs, the Osbournes on MTV. Now, that was just brilliant, you know? It was such a great insight on the guy's life and how crazy it was.
I found this on the web.
Hmm. And why have I... Does everyone else see that? Hello, we are contacting you regarding a community guideline breach. What is this? Fails to take action with a result in a channel strike. Is that genuine or what? I've never seen that before. Well, the person who's actually on the channel, who's posted that, is only been there for a year and they've only got one follower. So it's just some Nimrod who's built an account that goes into lives and posts a load of rubbish about being a knob. So adios, you got removed, boy. But yeah, that was nice. All you have to do is click on the name, and the guy had 1 subscriber. So it's clearly just some dude going into lives and just causing trouble. Yeah, first time I'd seen that in a live as well, to be fair, dude. Dude's just a bit of a prick. Got dealt with accordingly. At first I was like, shit, what have I done wrong? I was like, is it because I used the picture of Ozzy for the live? I'm not sure. Because the thumbnail that I used, and I thought, well, I'm not using any music. It's just someone being a pillock. Screw you, pillock. You got dealt with. Got to see Black Sabbath when the Van Halen's first tour opened for them. Also with Zach Wild, with Ozzy's band. Yeah, I've seen Black Sabbath live at one of the download festivals they did here. It used to be called Monsters of Rock years ago. Now, I have got a mate, Dave. We call him Metal Dave because he's just like metal through and through. And he actually was supposed to go to that gig. There was like a farewell tour or something, but I think they cancelled it, and he wasn't sure whether they were ever going to like redo it. So he ended up just, I think he got his money back. Yeah, it was really good. It was good. Obviously, like I say, I'm not a massive Aussie. Well, I am an Aussie fan, but I'm not a massive Black Sabbath or Ozzy's music fan. I like the person. I liked him in. He just used to make me laugh. The way he'd sit there just staring like, "Ooh, Sharon." It was just great. Okay, pop fun. Well, that doesn't sound too good. Hope the rest of your evening's better. And on that note, Ozzy Osbourne died. So you're not alone. It was only meant to be 1 dram, but I think I poured a little bit too much. But it's for Ozzy Osbourne. So, I mean, I hope his family are all right. Obviously, used to see Sharon, and even his dogs. Even his dogs were funny. You know, they'd just sit there like, He'd just be. I remember the time. If you haven't watched it, there was a time where he was just stood staring, like, tripping out, staring at this dog turd, and he's like, "Sharon." Flipping loved it. But yeah, this beer tastes weird. Now, thinking about it, this could have been in the same vessel that I brewed the other beer in that tasted slightly peculiar. So I think it might just need like an overhaul, take everything apart and kind of just deep clean everything, like especially the tap. I mean, I do get a brush in there every now and again and give it a good jimmy around, but it all depends on if there's something there that's been left there, you know, a bit of smeg inside the tap or whatever. It could very well be that, but it does have that sort of like a dank fustiness. That's the only way I can actually like describe it. It lingers on the palate. Does taste kind of tarnished. I don't think it's going to be the pine needles because they did go in while the water was still boiling, so they would have been sterilized at 100 degrees Celsius, not the Fahrenheit. How old is the beer you're drinking? It's not that old. It was bottled about 5 days ago, but no, 5 or 6 days ago. So whenever the last live was that I did, where I was bottling a beer, that was when it was done. I know that's not a long time, but I always check to see whether it's carbonated before sending it off to. I've tried to age it out with the other one. It was a Citra IPA. I didn't even share the recipe for that because it just tasted a bit gank. Now I've shared the recipe for this, and I'm hoping that it is just my fermenter needs a good clean out. Hoping. I mean, to be fair, I have done a hell of a lot of beers in them, so it could be that, you know, they've ran their course. But yeah, aging it a little bit didn't help last time. I think I left it for the month that I normally leave it in the bottle. So 1 week in a warm area, and then 3 weeks in a cooler area, and it still tasted like it did. Now I did put a little sample pot to the side for my mate to try. Whether he does taste the thing that I can taste, or whether he could say that it is the same as what the Citra IPA was, we'll find out. But yeah, it's not ideal to have 20 bottles of beer that tastes like a camel's ass crack. It's not bad, right? You know, if you was to get it, you'd be like, that tastes a bit odd. And it's not pine needles that's making it taste odd. It's it's weird because I want to say a cheesiness, but it's not cheese. Cheesy beer. What the fuck am I on about? Oh no, but it's definitely got the flavour that was in that Citra Pale that I did, or Citra IPA, whichever one it was. I mean, I drank the Citra IPA, and I will drink this. It's not like it's going to be wasted, but it's just got a bit of an odd taste to it. Yes. So what's everybody else brewing at the moment, or about to brew? Let's see who the top fans are. Who are the top fans? Oh, that whitey chat chaser knobsack. He's third. What a bellend. Fancy going into people's streams and just typing shit like that. I'll find him later and flip and get him reported, mate. That's not on, is it? Imagine how many people he's going to do it to, and they're actually not going to think to click on his name and see whether he's actually legit with his one subscriber. I mean, I'm not being big-headed. I do have more subscribers, but how many people are going to want to subscribe to a guy who's literally like going into people's live streams and just causing them to shut down and stuff? Because some people are panicked because they don't want the strikes against their you know, channel and stuff like that. Because getting strikes is a big thing. I think if you get 3 strikes within, what did they say, within 90 days, you get demonetized for 90 days. They can be quite ruthless, you know. I mean, I'm not monetized anyway because I'm not even on that plane yet, but we'll do it when we get there. Yeah, you did mention the black sage and buckwheat honey. That would be pretty cool, man. I haven't had a chance to look at the recipe you sent me yet, but it did look decent, dude. Plans to brew a saison. Oh, I fucking love saison. Sorry about the language. I don't mean to swear. I do love saisons. I always say it, but the saison, right? It's one of those beers that everyone forgets about until they've got one to their lips, like in a pub, or if they, you know, if you go to like a microbrewery, they might have done a small batch of it. And it's when you actually have it, you're like, oh my God, this is a great, you know, the spiciness, the floral notes you get. I bloody well love it. Mangrove Jacks M12. I don't know which one that is, mate. I haven't even got another phone handy to be able to like check. I know M05 is a mead yeast. So is that just a wine yeast then, M12? Yeah, microbreweries are decent, mate. You know, they're just out of the way. I knew what you meant, man. Yeah, they're out of the way. They're normally like pokey as hell. You could probably fit about 10 people and a fart in there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was yeah, they are good, and they do sometimes really good beers. Like we used to have a microbrewery called Totally Tapped. No, Totally Brewed is what they were called. And the chap who run it was literally local to me. I always used to pick his brain about things. And he had the brewery side of it as well as the little tap room. But the tap room was where the money was. So he stopped the little microbrewery and then just swapped it out to just doing it in a like a microbrewery setting, and it's worked out really well for them, you know, because they get a lot of local beers, but they do get some from breweries that used to be like really small, but now they've actually like taken the next step up, like Verdant. I don't know how many of you, not many of you are from the UK, but if you ever get a chance to get your hands on a Verdant beer, I highly recommend it. They are so bloody good. Next to Shiny, they are probably one of my favourite beers. Breweries, sorry. Yeah, that's a lot of money on honey, dude. My aim here with the Fermented World is just to do it as cheap as possible and still get nice results. So sometimes, like I say, I will use a cheap base honey to ferment for a mead, and then I end up using a more flavoursome mead, honey, to then sweeten it back up with. But yeah, £250 worth of ingredients. Bloody hell, man. Woo. That's like my 2 weeks shopping bill for me and the kids, dude. But you know, if you can get your hands on the stuff, that's what it's all about, man. More of a competitor than a consumer. Yes, you are. Most definitely. You've mentioned this before. What type of yeasts do you like using for your meads? So I've used two types of mead. Two types of yeast, sorry. Mangrove Jack's M05 was my go-to, and now I'm using the Lalvin EC1118. Hello, Waxis. How you doing? Sometimes you pay a premium for better quality ingredients. You should do videos sometimes of the same beer brewed with cheap than expensive ingredients and test the difference on the public. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I did something like that with a mead, but I haven't really done it with the beer because I only really give it out to friends. It's only like it's homebrew. It's like, you know, only people that I know actually get to try it. Um, I do send some out to some people that I follow on Instagram. There's a gardener chap that I follow who's pretty cool, and there's this I think his name's Garden Riddler or Riddler Garden, something like that. Really sound chap. And there's another chap called Eat the Country, who's a forager, and he's just got so much knowledge. He's clued up like on all this different stuff that you can eat, can't eat, what to look for, what looks like something else, and he's so clued up in that. And I always send him like some as well, but that's normally the mead because I can't really post the beers because of them being carbonated. Because the mead is flat, Royal Mail and the posties are all right sending it. Because the last thing you want is it to get there and it'll be a broken bottle and just dripping wet on his floor. So yeah, sorry. What was the M12 again, dude? What type of yeast was it for? Did you mention it? Let me just go back up. Oh, M12 is a Kvike. Yeah, Kvike yeasts are really good, man. They've got a potential of about 14% or something, haven't they? Yeah, sorry, Rife. I missed it in the comments, dude. Yeah, I just started yakking on and as I do. But yeah, yeah, Kvike. They can be done at so many different temperatures. So the Kvike that I brewed, the beer, actually, you know, when you say that, oh, okay, I'm not sure whether mine's the Mangrove Jack's Kvike or whether I've got a different one. Thinking about it, it might be because every time I see a Mangrove Jack yeast that is the type of yeast that I'm wanting, and then I see another brand, I always go for Mangrove Jacks because I just know that they work. I know that they're good. Um, I did go out on a limb using the Lalvin EC1118, and so far, good results. You know, it's been pretty decent. It's fermented out nicely. The first one I did with the organic honey, though, that took me back a bit. I was like, don't like this. That caused me no end of problems. They're going to get bottled soon, actually. I've got like 4 or 5 vessels that need bottling, and I've got 2, which was the apple and orange mead. They're going to be going into secondary soon. I just need to find a bit of time to do it. Tomorrow is actually brew day for our next beer, which is going to be the one that I was saying, which is the Botanic Ale. Oh, Gordon Bennett. This desk is such a flipping mess. I'm such a tramp. There we go. So yeah, the Botanic Ale is it's going to have Pilsner malt, wheat malt, Vienna malt, Belgian aromatic malts, Magnum hops, and I believe, off the top of my head, Styrian Goldings is what I want to say. I can't remember. I've said this before on the last live. I couldn't get a hold of the Sterling hops, which was a crossbreed between 3 different hops. So yeah, and this is going to have like heather, dandelion, chamomile, and lavender in. All steeped at the last minute. What the bloody hell's that? Oh yeah, that was the blueberry sizer that I quickly slapped together. And apparently I've written on the bottom of here, do a simple boucher, you twat. It's because I do. I always complicate things. I always think that it's more is better, but it's not. So I haven't done a standard boucher. Hello, Valo and Myra. My honey dealer. You got a honey dealer? Do you want to buy some honey, mate? Got some good honey. I suggest you try a blend of avocado, honey, coastal buckwheat, tasted avocado, which says it's buttery. Yeah, it's all down to the price, though, mate. The idea here is to brew your own alcohol for a fraction of the price. If you start bumping up with premium things, I think, you know, you kind of get lost in the hype, the brand hype, so to speak. I'm not saying that they're not better, but for example, if you ferment a honey that's costs say £20 a jar, for example, how much of that flavor of the honey have you got left when the sugar content is disappeared? That's my theory on it anyway. So I always back sweeten with something that tastes nicer. But yeah, if I can get some of that honey to back sweeten with, that'd be absolutely brilliant. Hello, Amma. How you doing? But with heather in there, it needs to have lucky in the name. Okay. Lucky Botanic Ale. Because it's like a play on words. It's supposed to be botanical, but it's like Botanic Ale. Okay, we can do Lucky Botanic Ale. I could do that for you, brother. If I could find a goddamn pen. I tell you what, these kids, man, they drive me mad. They even know where my stash is. Look, I've got a stash up there of pens, and they always know where they're at. Oh my god, I'm back to the. I remember this now. I actually remember writing that now because I've got the flipping My Little Pony pencil again. So, Lucky Botanic Ale. There you go, man. How's about that? There you go. This is why I love it. I love the interaction. You know? Good. How are you doing? I'm Fandabby Dozy. Thank you very much. I have a beer that is moderately okay. Smells like it's granddad's tobacco pipe, maybe. Yeah, it's not one of the best ones I've done. But yeah, other than that, I'm all right. Sad news about Ozzy Osbourne passing, but we've had a dram of whiskey for him. And it was quite a nice whiskey by Penderyn, who don't support me in any way. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I bought that out of my own moolah. Lucky Leaf. Or Lucky Leaves. Lucky Petals. You see, I need the botanic in there. I kind of think I need the botanic. Because I like the play on the words with the botanic ale instead of botanical. Let me think about it. I will write down what you said though, Lucky Leaf, because I think it'd be good to get somebody else's ideas on what to name things, or Lucky Leaves, or Lucky Petals, because they're all flowers, so to speak, aren't they? What do you reckon to that, Max's? So is lavender supposed to be something to do with luck then, is it? Did a lavender mead. That was well nice. It was like soothing and calming and stuff. It really was. Yes, I am from the UK. Hello, Hernandez. I am not going to try and pronounce your name, mate, because I will butcher it. But hello, mate. I hope you're good. I prefer drinking hydromels at 5% and 6%. So I did a hydromel, and I did one that was about 7 and a bit. And you know what? I think when it's sweet, although I did throw too much bloody honey in because, pardon me, I put too much honey in because it was quite hot in the kitchen because of we had like a heat wave here, and the honey must have been like, I don't know, like 8 degrees hotter than it normally is, and it just flooded out, and it just had absolutely loads, man. It is deadly when it's carbonated in lemon. I can imagine that you sink them quite quickly. Hello, Jacob. How you doing, dude? El Ray. What's popping, brother? Yeah, Ozzy's gone, man. Yes, Myra, I'm from the UK, yes. Cheers to Ozzy. Yeah, everyone raise your glass to Ozzy fucking Osbourne. The Prince of Darkness. You know, he was such a bloody good bloke. What is it you do, Amacraft? Because this is probably the place where you're going to get subscribers if you want some, mate. If it's something to do with brewing, then, you know, mate, we will come and have a look. We've helped people before. Channel activity. Oh, you're not that far away, dude. You got 34. I don't think it tells me what you do on your channel, though. No, it's just showing you that you've said hello on mine. Yeah, so let us know what it is that you do, and we might even be able to get you a couple more subscribers, dude. Because the whole thing is a community. That's the way I see it. We're all interlinked together. I mean, we've got Rife, who sends me his recipes. He seems to have like a clear, good knowledge of what good mead is. Like looking at some of the things that he's made, it's like, you know, it's next level. Yeah, you just gotta let us know what it is that you do on your channel, Amacraft. What is it that you do on your channel? That's what's gonna get people from my channel maybe to follow you. If it's a brewing channel or if it's something that we're interested in, then, you know, they may very well check you out. But you just gotta let us know what it is that you're doing, man. Start another piment. But I'm step feeding this one. Oh yeah, I need to get on that step feed. I keep saying I'm going to do it with some blackberry mead because I've picked loads of blackberries off the allotment, man. I've been busy today as well, guys. I don't know if I've posted it on my Instagram, but I've been putting loads of seeds in the seed trays. I know that I'm late. I know that I'm late to the party, but I've just been having so much other stuff to do. It's just been one of them. It got to the point where they're moaning at me at the allotment because I've not got loads of things growing. I do gaming with my friends, and I was just scrolling on live and found you. I know game. Oh, dude, I game. Yeah, I game. I don't stream my games. I've thought about it, but to be fair, I get like really competitive, and I swear a hell of a lot, and no one wants to listen to me making up new swear words, dude. the amount of editing I have to do whilst creating brewing videos is phenomenal. I'll write your thing down on a piece of paper, dude. And I'm not saying that I will subscribe, but if I do have a look and I think it's worth subscribing, I most definitely will, because I like different things to look at, you know. Amacraft. So if any of you like gaming, go check out Amacraft, AMA_craft, and just go see what this dude's doing. If you like what he's doing, subscribe. If not, don't. Simple. So while we're at it as well, anyone else who's here, go and subscribe to Ray Finkel's channel. It's not directly linked to this account, I don't believe. I think he's got a different account for this one. It's called Tailgate Tin Type. That's what it's called. Tailgate Tin Type. Tin Type. Sorry, probably pronounced that wrong. And he does like some really old school photography where it's actually printed, not printed. It might be. There you go. Cheers. That's the one, dude. It is printed, isn't it, dude? It is actually printed onto tin, a piece of metal. Yeah. So, Amacraft. And yeah, I often scroll as well, Amacraft, and you just end up scrolling, and it's like, oh, what's this person doing? And sometimes you find someone who's actually bloody interested in doing something. But you see, yeah, this is more of a homebrew thing. So it's like making your own alcohol, mead, cider, beer, wine, you name it. Anything that you could stick in a bucket and ferment, we will probably have a go at. I know, dude. I know. I saw it the other day. Well done. Well done. You'll get there, dude. You'll get there, mate. As soon as you can go live, you can interact with a lot more people as well. So I think it might be hard for you to do a live in that respect because you'll be having to come back to the camera every now and again instead of, you know, focusing with your thing under the hood. But yeah, still, I wish you the best, mate, of course. So yeah, on my other channel, which is called Walk Cook Walk, there you go, subtle plug. Walk Cook Walk. I just go out into the woods at the weekend and I just cook something. You know, it's simple. I just cook something in the woods or a random location that I found, and it's just away from the maddening crowd, and I enjoy it. I made a hobo stove, which is, I'm glad this actually came in. I made this, right? And apparently you should be able to heat some water and cook something on this. So if you go to the actual Walk Cook Walk channel, you'll be able to see me making this crude and horrible thing. But the people that actually showed me the video, they actually I tagged them in and they commented, and I was like, wow, dude, because I followed them, subscribed to them for quite a while, and they're literally nomads. They're UK nomads, so they have no home, no fixed address. They live in the woods. They drink spring water. It's just absolutely nuts. Somebody subscribed while I was here. You're defo a northerner. East Midlands. It depends where you are, because everyone who's further below us in Nottingham, then it's you know, everyone up there's a northerner, aren't they? Lancashire. Yeah, my gran was from Lancashire. Bless her. 8 away. Go on, Ray. You can do it, man. I know you can. Yeah. Get everybody you know. Get everybody you know so that Ray Finkel can go live. Because that'd be great to me watch you guys live. That'd be mint. I mean, if some of you wanted to come on and talk about brewing, you know, you're more than welcome one time. We'll discuss like what we're doing, what we're brewing, and stuff like that. And it'll just be like a back and forth kind of little shindig. You know, I'm quite happy to do that. Yeah, everyone north of it. Exactly, dude. Yeah. Brighton. Well, it's good to hear that we've got some Brits in the house. Because when I checked the, not that my Yankee friends are not welcome, not at all. But when I do check the analytics, a lot are from America. Now, I noticed at one point my region was set incorrectly. So I'm thinking, have I just like mystically figured out a way to get more subscribers from loads of different places, just change the region every now and again? Hopefully they don't litter. I subbed. Middle Earth. So, as a part of the Walk Cook Walk, my other channel, like I say, it's really simple. I go for a walk, I cook some grub on my camping stove, and I pick up some litter and I walk home. Any litter around me, I walk home. So the place that we went to last time, there wasn't actually any litter there because I'd already been there before. So we cleared out the 2 pieces that we could find as we were walking in that little area. But then we just filled up the bag on the way home. I set up a Civil War reenactments starting in September. Oh, they're well cool. They are, dude. Yeah. Lindisfarne Mead. Now, I really like Lindisfarne Mead. Now, I really wish that you could all meet this chap. In fact, you probably can sort of meet him. He's passed away now. I know that sounds weird, but anyway, it's called, oh shit, Ronnie's Little Walks or Ronnie's Walks or Grey Family, or I can't remember what it was changed to when he passed away. I'll try and remember what it is. I'll see if it's still active. I'll talk to his daughter. And this chat was just amazing. And I only got speaking to him because he'd typed in, he'd put hashtag Mead in one of his posts. And he said that he'd been to Lindisfarne. I was like, oh, mate, I'd really like to go. I mean, I've had the mead, but I've never actually been. So, yeah, I'd really love, that's something I'd love to do. But this chap was so sound. I mean, he was, I think he was in his 50s or late 50s, and he got the big C. He was very unwell, very, very unwell. And we got talking, and I mentioned to him that I make mead, and I said to him, I'm making a Parma Violets mead. And he piped up, he was like, Parma Violets? He's like, I absolutely love Parma Violets. They're one of my childhood sweets. And I was like, dude, I'll send you a bottle. So I sent him a bottle and he drank it. He wasn't supposed to be drinking because of his medication that he was on, but he drank it and he got sozzled and he absolutely loved it. And that just meant so much to me, you know, just being able to just do that. And I still message his daughter every now and again on Instagram, you know, and follow them and that. But yeah, if you're not sure what Parma Violets are, the guys in America, you really, really need to buy some. Get them on Amazon, get them imported, just get them. They're the best flipping sweets ever. I don't even know what 90 degrees Fahrenheit is, dude. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can like minimize this. Can I just make it small or make it piss off to the side or something? If I lift that up, will it disappear? That's the problem. You see, if I lift this up, it could disappear. But anywho, yeah, that was nice to remember Ronnie as well, because he was such a down to earth chap. And check this out, right? He was unwell he'd moved into a house. The roof caved in from water, like the roof was just knackered, let loads of water in. He went to live with his uh, daughter. I think they got the house sorted. He was ready to move in, and then his health took a really bad decline. And eventually, she messaged and posted on his Instagram that he'd passed away. 32°C. Yeah, sod that, dude. 20 degrees in the UK is too much for me, dude. 20 degrees. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm fucking ginger. Excuse the language, folks. Well, you see, I don't have ginger hair. I don't have much hair anyway. But yeah, some of you got a rare picture of my hair the other day. I saw that actually from my other, because I follow myself to try and boost my own flipping on my other channels. And yeah, I saw a picture of me and I'm like, why the bloody hell am I there? And I must have been like 3 sheets to the wind, drunk, and just took a picture of myself with my hair down and posted it. And I commented on my own post, looking good, man. I love how you guys can just chat to each other as well. I didn't even know you could do that. Like, actually, like, what's the word? At each other, tag each other, so to speak. That's well good. Yes, UK humidity is just nuts, mate. So it's probably a lot different 32 than it is a 32 in the UK. 32 in the UK just feels like you're being cooked from the inside out. It's like, do you ever get those fish in a bag that you boil? Got to be a cod and parsley sauce. That's how we feel all the time. 20 degrees is, I can deal with it. 25, I'm closing all my doors, all my windows, and I'm waiting until it cools down in the evening. I just can't deal with it. I really can't. So for anyone who is now following me on the other channel, it is a lot different to what I'm doing on the homebrew channel. I did think about trying to merge them, but I don't want people to be like, yeah, but I didn't sign up for this. Do you get what I mean? Not that I'm bothered anyway, because if people go, they go. That's just the way the natural order of things is. But this is a little device, right, which is protecting me from mosquitoes. Now, it actually shocked the shit out of a a daddy longleg. I don't know what you call them where you are, but they're called crane flies. That's the actual name for them. And it was just absolutely monging out on the floor. It couldn't. Normally they look like complete idiots anyway, but with this on, these things were like, it was doing a flipping backflip. No, it's not a zapper. So what it's got is it's got this. It's a bit hot at the moment. It's got a cartridge that goes inside it, and I've been trying it for my walk cook walk, because the mosquitoes love me, because it must be the alcohol in my blood system, and they just come for me. So I thought I'll try this out, but when I got there last time, the battery was dead, so I couldn't use it. So I had to go back to the spray. But I picked this up off Amazon, 30 quid. But then bought a cheaper one from Temu, but then sent the one from Amazon back, and I was just kicking myself because the ones from Temu now, they're out of stock, so I can't buy another one. Do you know what I mean? So I may end up buying one again for when we go camping with the kids. First time going camping this year, or glamping. So the tent's going to be already there set up for us, because we need electricity, because my daughter's got type 1 diabetes. She's had it since she was 18 months old. So it's not down to her own demise or whatever. So we need electricity for her insulin, because it needs to go into the fridge. Yeah, it's just an electricity device. And I tell you what, there was a mosquito in here earlier on, and I deliberately didn't kill it because I wanted to test it out properly. And I haven't seen it since. And that flipping crane fly was just spazzing out, like just going around in flipping circles, man. Eventually, I scooped him up and let him out. You know. Yep, JF, I am on the winter thing, man. Oh my god, I've missed a load of. I must have been chatting. Used to wear a sweatshirt this morning. What was that called? Will the UK make Ozzy's birthday a national holiday? Well, you see, he was extremely famous, so it's. I suppose it's down to the only person who can do that. I believe is King Charles. Now, I'm not going to get talking about the royal family. All I will say is I don't care for them. That's it. End of subject. But they're the only people that can say yes or no. The royal family is a bit like politics, and I just don't get into it. I don't get into religion, politics, and very rarely money. Do you eat a lot of bananas? They love potassium in your bloodstream. No, I don't really. I love bananas, but I don't eat enough fruit. I bloody should. Bug zapper lamp in the house. Yeah, I've seen those with the ultraviolet bulbs, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine the chickens. Yeah. Is that little gun, that like little pop gun that shoots the salt out? Come on, is that what it is? Oh, I've seen them, you know. I thought about getting one, but then there's going to be flipping salt everywhere. Oh, mate, though, that does sound good. Just blow the little bugger out of the sky. I could take one on Walk Cook Walk because every time I bloody go, mate, I'm getting attacked by wasps. And I've found out what Waspzilla is. If you already follow me on that, you might have seen the video of Waspzilla. I didn't actually capture a clip of the video of the wasp that I could see, but I'm telling you now, it was like that, dude. But it turns out it's a European hornet, and I saw the same thing last weekend, just gone, and I was about half a mile away from the other spot. So I'm just like, is that the same dude? But I sprayed his ass anyway. Sprayed him with insect repellent. Oh God, you made me go want one of these flipping bug assault nars. All right, let's write that down as well. I've got a shopping list going on here. Thing is though, because I've had a couple of beers and a bit of whiskey, I'll come to that tomorrow and I'll be like, what the sod in hell is this? AMA Craft, bug assault. I need to write YouTube next to AMA Craft, don't I? Which I'm going to go check you out, dude. And if you would all go and check AMA Craft out, just for the sake of it, go check his channel, see if it's any good, see if it's something that you want to watch. If it is, subscribe to him. If not, at least you tried. Trying is the first step to failure. But if you never try, you'll... Yeah, trying is the first step to failure. But if you never try, you'll never succeed. Bloody hell. Had a brain fart through that one. Yeah, that's pretty much the same way that, is it Raid fly spray works? It turns their lungs to liquid, apparently, which is lovely. Bloody lovely. Laser radar air defense for bugs. Crikey me, that's just going a bit mad, isn't it? We're firing nukes at it next. Big assault ad. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't do what's it called? You know, like these promotional things where people are like, now followed by bloody bloody blah Pantene Pro V because he's worth it and all that shit. I'm not saying I wouldn't do that for a bit of dosh, but it's got to be something that's relatable to the channel. So it's got to be like the main thing that I think is a honey sponsorship by the honey that I've been using for the last, I want to say 3 years for mead. Yeah, probably 3 years. That's the one. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Exactly, dude. Yep. Which is another reason why I've started getting out more, because growing, like being a single dad with 4 kids, it can be difficult. But even I need that little bit of space where I don't have to deal with people. You know, I'm a people person. Like I'm sat here talking to you guys. I absolutely love interacting with people. I love people's ideas, you know. But sometimes you just need to hear the wind in the trees and a couple of fucking flipping birds singing. Some Raid Shadow. Thanks for watching. The stream just broke out into tears. Some Raid Shadow Legends. I don't know what that is, dude. I'm confuzzled. Yeah, I can imagine that's not too easy. I've got one subscriber who's a Brit. Or no, I don't know whether he subscribes actually. He might. He lives in, I want to say Switzerland now, but that might be wrong. But he's also got a disabled child, and it's difficult. You know, it is difficult. It can be tough. 8 wicked stepsisters. That sounds harsh. I've got one sister, and she's mint. You know, she is. She's absolutely 100% bob on. Also got her own disabilities. She's got Asperger's. But I tell you what, you could not pull a fast one over her. Money that you have owed her for 4 years, she still remembers it. Oh, okay. Raid Shadow Legends. I don't know what it is. Or is it that, oh, that bloody cartoon game, is it? I can't stand it. Every time I see it, I'm just like, if that's what you're on about. But the thing is, at the moment, I'm not monetized, so any of the advertisements that you guys see whilst watching my videos, yeah, that crappy mobile game, yeah, I think I know what you mean now. Every single time that you watch a video of mine, any of the advertisements on there have got nothing to do with me. I get nothing for that. And I'm not even bothered, you know. It's, you don't miss what you ain't got. Got any pit barbecue recipes where you bury the food in the ground with hot coals? No, but who was the chap I watched do something like that the other day? Because although I'm into like homebrewing, I'm also into like outdoor stuff. Like I'm going to be starting on the walk, cook, walk thing, doing a little bit like of novice bushcraft stuff, just having a go because I can, you know. And is there a Fermented World Discord? What's Discord? You got to remember, I'm like old as, well, I say old, but I'm not that old. There was a chap who did something like it, and he put it over the top. Oh, and he baked it using is it a Dutch oven or something like that? So he heated it up from the bottom and then put like the hot coals from the fire on the top. I can't remember his solid name. Kent Survival. No, Kent Bushcraft. Kent Wild Camp. I'm useless at remembering stuff, man. That's why I have to write everything down. And then I still don't remember why I bloody wrote it down. Ray Mears. I used to like Ray Mears, to be honest, man. I really did. I thought he was flipping fantastic. Just his calm attitude, it just made things so much easier to understand. I did a chicken curry inside a watermelon on an open fire. Wow, man. Are you taking the piss or are you being serious, Ray? Come on, lad. Yeah, man. Dutch ovens, you can make some good stuff in. Bread, chili, and some really good peach cobbler. The things you can cook in them are endless. I can't remember the name of the guy who did it though, and I can't even remember what he cooked. It was a good video. I left the guy a comment, but I don't remember what it was that he bloody cooked. Brains frazzled from the beverages. Sorry, no, I've been here an hour. In Scotland, they cook fish in the ground and call them smokies, and they're gorgeous. So there is something called an Arbroath smoky. Arbroath. There's a place in Scotland where they cook this specific smoky this certain way, and there was like a sort of legal battle going on, where like you can't call a Cornish pasty unless it's been made in Cornwall. This was the same thing about this Arbroath smoky. Now my ex, she's Scottish, so she knows about it and she's had one and all that jazz, and she's like, she always used to pipe about it, and I'm like, okay, sort me one out, make me one. She never did. So I've never used cast iron myself, unless the whatever pan that I've got a griddle. That might be cast iron because it's really sodding heavy. Cheers to the hour. Is that something we're going to have to do now? Bloody hell, an hour of listening to me chat shit. No, but you guys have been talking amongst yourself as well, which is always good. I think I need a bigger screen of something because I'm always like, I can't see it. Sourdough Neapolitan pizza. Come on, you need to elaborate on that. What the sod in hell is that, dude? Rest in peace to Ozzy. Hello, Rock Gaming. How you doing, brother? Or sister? That sounds awesome. Yeah, it really does. We need more info. I have 2 LG dual-up computer monitors connected. I'll shoot you the recipe for my pizza. Oh, sweet. Now, you see, I don't think there's a... So I've seen people that have figured out ways to make a pizza on a camping stove or on a camping fire. So I think it was the Outdoor Boys channel. You know, Luke from Outdoor Boys. I think he got 2 baking trays, laid all his stuff down on one of them, put the other baking tray over the top, and then clamp them down with some two like pincer clamps or swivel clamps, whatever they are. And he managed to create a pizza on a campfire like that, where the top was cooked just as well as the base. Now, for me, on my little Trangia stove, I don't think that's going to be possible. Somehow. I remember Sainsbury's changed all of their pizzas to sourdough pizzas. Not as good. So sometimes for me it depends what's on offer. I'll buy whatever is the cheapest. I do not give a shoot at all, man. You know, when you're cooking for 5 people, it's down to whatever's cheap and taste good. Obviously, it's got to taste good. Yeah, I've not done the sourdough thing. Everyone was doing that in lockdown, weren't they? They were going mad for this sourdough. Mm. So, would you accept wood coals then? Coals from wood, or is it got to be brick oven? Now I've got a mate who makes some bloody good pizza. He's never let me have any of the pizza. He just sends me pictures of him. What a tosser! Thinking about it, that's actually very rude, isn't it? Considering I'm giving him some of my homebrew, I'm going to demand a pizza from me. He bought one of these, like, it's really compact. It does one pizza at a time, quite compact, and you know, it just stands on top of a surface outside. Not particularly a table. I think he puts it on the little side bit of his barbecue, and it cooks absolutely mega things, man. I'm okay. Just very sad about Ozzy passing away. He was my inspiration. Yeah, we spoke about him a little bit. He was such a really good bloke. I have said previously, before you joined the conversation, that I've always liked the Black Sabbath music and the Ozzy Osbourne music, and obviously, you know, that's what made him famous. But I liked the Ozzy that was on the Osbournes because he was just so whacked out that it was just funny, and you know, he was just out there like, you know, just being funny. That's my perspective. I have seen them. I saw Black Sabbath at pardon me, the Download Festival in the UK. Um, yeah, it was really good, and you know, he was such a nice bloke. He did something. There's a young lad who's just come onto the scene the last couple of years called Young Blood. Um, it's kind of poppy, sort of dresses punky, but he's did a part of the farewell set with Ozzy or for Ozzy. I think he sang a lot of the song and stuff like that. So yeah, it was good. He will be missed, mate. He will definitely be missed. Yeah, for sure. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pour another whiskey for him. I've already had a dram. Blue, be quiet. Oi, get in. Sorry, the bloody dog's spazzing out. We're going to go for a smaller dram than last time. So I'm not sponsored by these, but if you can get your hands on this, this is some really good single malt whiskey. It's Penderyn. I can't pronounce it, even though I'm Welsh. I can't actually pronounce it, and I'm not even going to try because I'll just look like a tit. But it is matured in American rye casks, and it is the Icons of Wales number 10 series. Just in case anybody asks what it is that I'm drinking. They can keep it. I'll have regular dough. Yeah, that's fair enough. Everyone to their own. You know, each to their own. Is the guy a Ninja Turtle? No, but he's a fireman. He's a big burly fireman bloke, man. And he now needs to sort me out pizza. You should get some of that pizza yeast and make a beer with it. Isn't it just bread yeast? Now, I was told that you shouldn't use bread yeast to make beer. Um, because of something about it might not reach the tolerance, and then you're just left with a load of wort that's not fully fermented. But I've never tried it. If I was going to try it, I'd try it with a cheap liquid malt extract kit, because the amount of effort that goes into actually brewing an all grain beer is a little bit different to you know, adding water to a liquid malt extract. Now, don't get me wrong, I started making them with the liquid malt extracts and they were really, really good. I started adding my own hops and stuff like that, and it progressed. And then I was just like, right, well, now I need to stop brewing other people's beers and I need to start brewing my own beers. Stop robbing my sheep. Well, what's that about? That's something about the Welsh. I wish I could type in here as well, you know. I can't type, can I? What's this add button? Start a poll, questions and answers. Oh, I don't know. Amma Ohid. Thank you very much, Waxis. You absolute freaking legend. If you was here now, I'd let you have some of that. Amma Ohid. Thank you very much. Amma Ohid. Cheers. And it's non-chill filtered, apparently. Fragrant floral with baking spices, toffee, caramel, baked apple and pears. Now, right, I really enjoy whiskey, but I got nothing of them from that. Do you know what I got? I got whiskey. The palate. Smooth with, I know I'm taking the piss now, smooth with the notes of sweet caramel, sultanas, baked apples with the cinnamon, pepper and oak spices with a hint of ginger. Nope. I got whiskey. I got oak. I got whiskey. That is all. Saw a few videos of Ozzy's last concert, but his voice was isolated and it was really sad. Yeah, I think he was, as I was out with the dog earlier on, I thought to myself, was he kind of like already invested in having to do it? I'm not saying he was forced to do it, but you know what he was like? He was for the crowd all the time, and then when he thanked everybody at the end, I was like, wow, you know, because he did. He gave everybody a heartfelt thanks and told him, what was his words that I heard? You've allowed us to live this lifestyle. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, and then I think it's only been 2 weeks, hasn't it, since that farewell tour thing. But yeah, let's hope he rests in peace, man, because he's had a jagged life, hasn't he? You know, with being a rock star and all that, it can't generally be easy. Sounds pretty good. I'm looking for next time I'm picking up some brews. Got the pronounce. Yes, man, pour that whiskey for him. And yes, he was a great man. Yeah, I liked him for his personality. And it's again, I know I come across and I say that I don't like, I'm not a mega fan of the music. I am a fan of the music. I do like the music. Um, I mean, obviously, Paranoid is an absolute stonker. Iron Man, which I believe is his Ozzy work, or was Iron Man Black Sabbath as well? Don't think it was. And then you got Changes, where he shows the more melodic, the fact that he could actually, hit them like mellow tones. The guy was all round just flipping brilliant. I can't pour any more whiskey because it's always set for special occasions. That one, I do have some bourbon, a bit of Jim Beam bourbon for the necking, but bread yeast doesn't flocculate as well as ale. Wine yeast. You can call me Gaz. Don't call me Gareth. My mum calls me Gareth. That's when I know that I'm in trouble. I get called G if I'm not in trouble, and then Gareth if I am in trouble. But call me Gaz. We're all friends here. Sounds almost Christmassy. I must have missed something. Oh, with the whiskey, yeah. No, not at all. Just got whiskey. That's all I got. Now, I do enjoy single malts. I drink bourbon most of the time because it goes well with beer, I think. Same as mead. Mead goes really well with beer. I haven't got any mead today. There is some that should be ready soon, though. Or is it ready next month? I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that. But we will have a live for whatever bottle I do open. I think there was the strawberry and banana mead, and I can't remember for the life of me what the other one was, which is clearly annoying. Yeah, I mean, Ozzy, he was, he was just so great. He had such a presence, like even on the like when like I say, I used to watch the Osbournes, and I used to absolutely love it. I used to love him shouting at his kids and swearing. And one time when his neighbour was throwing chunks of meat over the garden, you saw Sharon pick up this slab of like, I don't know, like steak or something, and throw it over the garden and come back and tell Ozzy, and Ozzy's there like, yeah. This is great. He was bloody great. Oh, is he back in the UK now, is he? Rye beer. Yes, I have. It wasn't my own recipe, and it was called You Little Ripper, a rye IPA. Let me find it. Obviously, I'm not going to share the recipe with you because it wasn't mine, but I will I'll tell you what goes into it, but I won't give you the quantities, and I probably won't even give you the hop list because it's like I say, it's not my recipe, but I will tell you what malts go into it because that's sort of cheating and it's a bit alright, but shh, don't tell anyone. This is for say from Brew Day. They're closing down. I haven't heard out from Matt as to whether they've got the discount on the go at the moment yet, so just hang fire on that if everybody is waiting. It was one of the ones from years ago. So this is all these here is how I amassed my knowledge by following all these kits of different styles of ale. So this one is the You Little Ripper, which is a rye IPA. It uses Morris Otter Pale, Best Malt's Rye Malt, and Crisp Light Crystal. And there's an adjunct in there of torrefied wheat. Do you know what? I will tell you the hops as well. Sorry, but I just won't tell you the quantities or what time that they go in, because therefore I'm kind of not, pardon me, sharing their recipe then, am I? So it's got Citra, Columbus, Nelson Sauvin, and then it's got, again, in a dry hop, Citra, Nelson Sauvin, and Columbus. And it uses Safale US 05. So it uses the American style of yeast. Let's have a look if there's anything in particular that you'd need to know. Standard sparge, standard mash temperature, standard amount of time, standard sparge temperature. Fermenting at roughly 21. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. Once it's down to a low enough number, you bang your dry hops in, and that sits for 4 days. And there you go. Yes, I have done a rye IPA, and it was very, very nice. Now, this was one of the first lots of kits that I actually bought from Brew Day. It was a long time ago now. You're talking, I've been probably doing all grain, I want to say 2.5 years. I think I was still brewing liquid malt extract kits when I was doing the mead at the same time. When I started doing the mead, I think I was still doing the liquid malt extract kit. So I want to say 2.5 years, maybe 2 years. Let's say 2 years of doing the all grain. Oh, I missed that. Ozzy should be on the rock and roll version of Mount Rushmore. Yeah, defo. I had some Blanton's bourbon unopened. My ex threw it at my head, smashed. Must have a hard head then, dude. Rock on. Well, I'm assuming you're a dude. Yeah, I seem to have missed like loads of the chat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm shit at this, aren't I? Oh, you're keeping it for your son. Ah, well, buy another one. Roy Orbison should be on the rock and roll Mount Rushmore also. I can't. I do know who Roy Orbison is, but I don't think it's my jam. That's fine. Respect that you're keeping the recipe secret. Yeah, I'll only. So what I might do is I might take that recipe and I'll look at a couple of other recipes like an IPA or something, and I'll just jiggle everything around. And that's how I make these recipes myself, from stuff that I've learned already and other recipes. Sometimes from books, and then I'll cross reference it with one that I did 2 years ago, and I'll do a bit of that from that as well. Because I've paid for the privilege of brewing their beer, so I don't want to be like sharing it to the world. I will do one though. That's definitely something that I'm going to write down. A rye IPA. Yeah, I'll definitely do one of those, because I don't think I've got one of those on my channel actually, which is always nice to have. Where can I watch the Osbournes? Dude, you know what? I actually wished that they'd put it back on TV. Like the other week, I was thinking they should really put it back. You can find some of it on YouTube, yeah, but I think it's like hit and miss as to whether you get all of them. Haven't brewed lager or ale for 3.5 years. So the reason why I'm reading out your comments is because I don't think people can actually see what you're typing as the live stream goes on. So once this uploads, I don't think they can see what you've typed. I might be wrong. So I'm kind of reading out what you're saying as it goes. The last one I brewed was an ice bock that received multiple gold medals. Man, that was a tragedy about the Blantons breaking. I've never tried Blantons, to be fair. I've got to write that shit down now. Look, you see how you're getting me a flipping shop in this, you lot. I'll tell you one that I did have that was really, really nice, and it was actually a substitution for something else that I'd ordered from Tesco's. Woodford's Reserve. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head where they're from or whatever, and it was so nice. But here's one for you, a random bottle. Scottish brewery. Oh, distillery, sorry. It's very dusty. Now, I kept the bottle because it's flipping ace. Look at that. That is ace. This is the Deacon, Scotland. Smoky, sweet and peaty blend of Scotch whiskey. So it's blended. It is so damn smoky. It is unbelievable. It's literally like having a mouthful of smoke. It's so flipping good. And I only kept the bottle for that reason, that it just looks quirky. I like it. I just like it. No, it's not that, dude. It's because when I chat, I tend not to look at the. So you said, I think you're 10 minutes behind keeping up with the chat, so it's tough. You could probably change the latency settings somewhere. No, what it is because when I'm chatting, I tend not to look at all the comments. So then I see the comments going, but I have to finish what I'm saying so that I can then go look at what you've said. Do you get what I'm saying? Blanton's is a good bourbon, single barrel. It's pretty good. Woodford Reserve is a good one out in Kentucky. Yeah, that was really good. I do like that, man. I was very surprised. I was a bit gutted that they didn't have the one that I'd ordered, but the one that they substituted it with was actually a lot smoother than what I'd expected from the one that I did order. So, yeah. Yeah, the Plague Doctor. Yeah, yeah. My younger daughter's actually got one of those masks. She loves that stuff. Bit quirky. They do a monkey shoulder whiskey bowl. Have I had the monkey shoulder? No, I've had the banana whiskey with something monkey. What was that called? Can't remember now. Something monkey with banana flavour in it. It was okay. It was a bit sweet. Didn't much like it. I mean, I drank it. It was okay, but it's not one of those that you could, nail half a bottle of. It's one of those that, because it's sweet, you kind of like, yeah, it was all right. Monkey shoulder. No, I don't think I've had that one. Comes in a cage. That's one of my favourite gimmicky boozers. I'll keep an eye out for it. Are you able to legally distill in the UK? I have a homemade still that results in 186 proof after triple distilling. So, the laws in the UK is you cannot commercially distill without a license. There you go. You need a license to distill here. Yeah, you can't. Well, you can, but because of the ABV that you're producing, I think that the government want their hands on it, because I think that calls for tax. Now, if you ferment to, you know, what we ferment to with beers, they don't tax you on that. You get taxed on the ingredients, but you don't get a duty tax which you'd pay with a bottle of beer that you buy. You know. Evan for Percy. Laurel suggestions. Now, I know people that distill. It's not something that I want to do. It's not even something that I'm remotely interested in. I like the fermentation. I like the fact that the yeast is doing its job. Now, I do drink spirits, but I think I'd rather drink spirits that someone else has made who's been doing it for many, many years. Because we've all heard of things going wrong with distilling and things like that. Now, done properly, it's safe as houses, bloody is. But if you do it wrong, there can be explosions. There can be contamination with the methanol going through, or whatever. But I mean, I'm not saying that it's not something that people do here, because they probably do. And like I say, well, they do, because I know someone who does. But I've never tried any of their stuff, and I'd still be dubious about it then, I think. Because I think the natural fermentation is, I think that's the way forward. Forward, even, not forward. Hmm. Yeah. As Wax has said, it's if it naturally ferments, it's fine. If you distill it, you need a license, even for homework. Homework? um, if you like the Woodford's Reserve, I've had Wild Turkey. I've had Wild Turkey 101 or something like that. So it's like 51% or something like that. Is it, or is it 50% ABV? I've not heard of it called rare breed though. It was a good whiskey, man. It's a lot stronger than the ones that we're used to, like Jim Beam. That Woodford's Reserve is about, I want to say it's about 50. Not sure, or is it like 47? I don't know. So long ago. Rare breed is the higher ABV. 117. You're working on proof, aren't you? I believe. It is currently 12:39, dude. I don't sleep too much anyway. I couldn't sleep last night, man. Had some weird ass dreams. Yeah, proof. Yeah, so proof is normally about half, isn't it? So you half it for the ABV. Yeah. So 117 proof would be halved to get the ABV from it. Yeah. The wild turkey one that we had, I don't think it was called rare breed, but it was really nice. It was good. It's certainly, you do certainly notice the difference in it as well. It did, like, kick your ass that little bit more. Well, that took so long to drink because it tastes like ass. So that's now going to be a session beer, because no matter how strong it is, it's going to take forever to drink. I mean, you do acclimatise to the palate of it. Even smelling it, you'd say that something was bad with it. But I drank the last lot that tasted a bit like that. Now that's got a bit more of a bitterness to it as well. So I'm not sure if it's something wrong with the hops, because I've been using old hops. It's been stored in the freezer, but it's already been exposed to air. So it could very well be that. But hey ho, who knows? Right, I think we better wrap this up. We've been on 96 minutes. Blue, shut up. Yeah, I think there was Citra in it. I can't remember, dude. There's no point asking me. I only bloody work here. Luckily, I've got it here. Yeah, it had Citra hops in, and it could have been using some that were being used up for something else, because I did have to buy more. But they've all been frozen, you know. As soon as they've been used, they've been wrapped back up, put in an airtight container, and then frozen again. So, no idea, dude. But yeah, there was Citra in it. I've just checked the recipe. Citra, Centennial, and Simcoe. I use homemade spirits for making liqueurs. I like tea-based liqueurs. The methanol isn't the issue, as the heads are thrown away. Yeah, again, I don't go too much into it because I don't understand it. But yeah, I mean, if you want to make that, do that. You know, if you've got the ability and the capacity to do that, I think that's great. Yep. Cheers to Ozzy. I'm jumping off now anyway, dude, because I'm a bit spent. I think I need a cup of coffee after the few whiskies that I've had. Thank you for joining, everybody. Rock and roll. May Ozzy be with us forever, because he's going to be. You know, it's one of those things. See you later, guys. See you later, Waxis. Yeah, so thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for everyone who stuck around and had a good old chit chat. It's always nice. Ray, always a pleasure. Mutant, always a pleasure. And everybody else who's popped in. A quick look. Can't remember the names of the other ones. We had Rock Gaming, FF2019, and yeah, thank you very much for everyone for coming in and having a good old chit chat and all that jazz. Take it easy, and I'll see you all soon.